Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Jyotirmayananda Society. We focus on spirituality, a journey to self realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings of the scriptures and to enjoy daily satsang with us. We are currently exploring the book The Art of Positive Feeling, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. Yesterday, we were discussing the story of the ego and how it led to the downfall of Narada and Narada's curse. So, continuing, Lord Vishnu, lifted up by the sage and confronted him, he told Sri Narada that he should not grieve because Narada felt so bad after cursing Lord Vishnu due to the power of illusion and Maya. So, Lord Vishnu told Narada, don't grieve, that the stream of devotion should ever flow in his heart and that he would not be overpowered by delusion anymore. That is what God does to his pure hearted devotees. Sometimes gives them difficult tests to humble them, like a doctor giving proper medicine to a sick patient. On the spiritual path, in order to overcome the deep rooted kleshas or mental afflictions, an aspirant must bring about the perfect integration of his entire personality, a total internal transformation, not just superficial changes. That will not do. As this process unfolds, some parts of the personality are more readily becoming divine, yet others remain unchanged, like the face of a monkey. As long as there is a monkey's face, liberation, like Goddess Lakshmi in this story, cannot be won, but will continue to turn its face away. Clearly, Narada's proud assertion that he had conquered Kama was premature. Lord Vishnu readily saw how desire, anger, greed, and pride still lingered in Narada's mind and how readily he would fall prey to delusion. So, even a highly exalted sage like Narada was after conquering Kamadeva was still unqualified, not fully qualified just yet. So you can imagine that this holy path is one full of tests and tribulations till we are fully perfected. So he used his Maya, Lord Vishnu did, to bring all this impurity to the surface. His divine scheme was not an act of cruelty, but a profoundly compassionate way of teaching his devotee that more austerity was needed. So, this makes us stronger. The tests that come build our resolve. Whenever there is suppressed evil in a person, the divine plan works in a mysterious way to reveal what is hidden and remove it. When a surgeon learns that his patient has a tumor, he quickly applies his knife and cuts it out. Similarly, when God finds a spiritual tumor within your soul, it must be removed no matter what it takes. Initially, as a result of this divine surgery, you may feel humiliated and sad. However, as you tide over your apparent adversity and see your weaknesses disappear, you will find yourself much stronger and more enriched than before. Whenever God seems to frustrate the desires of a devotee, behind the scenes is his loving hand, ever intent upon leading the devotee from darkness to light. So, behind there is full love and compassion. Externally, it may appear painful and difficult, destroying the seeds of affliction. So, when a yogi truly succeeds in freeing his reason from the burden of all afflictions, his intellect becomes intuitive. The intuitive intellect tears the veils of ignorance. All the seeds of afflictions are burnt up. They can no longer envenom the mind. They can no longer obscure life's innermost expansion. They can no longer restrict and pervert the universal harmony that vibrates through all life. This is the burnt up state or dagdha state of afflictions, which is to be acquired as the goal of all yogic practices. Dagdha, Dagdha means burnt up, and all these afflictions, they will have to be burnt up. There is no other way. When this state has been reached, the yogi enjoys life in its fullness. He expresses this fullness of experience through a mind pulsating with dynamic and creative thoughts towards the promotion of harmony and peace in the world. He manifests this abundant experience through actions that waft the fragrance of his enlightenment and through external circumstances which exist to express the beauty and majesty of life. So let us continue to more depth to understanding the secrets of purifying the mind, because mind is the monkey. Mind is where all the agitation occurs, where all the impurities pop up. So therefore, purification of the mind becomes mission critical. The majesty of the divine self shines through this universe like a million suns, and to experience this glory, we have been given the gift of the mind. However, impurities such as desire, anger, greed, pride, delusion, jealousy, they all exist in the mind like clouds. And with a clouded mind, the sun of the self is obscured. What then should one do to remove the clouds of mental impurity? Answer: patience. Be patient and you will succeed. In learning to handle any negative quality, do not struggle too ferociously with it or become convinced that you are a failure whenever you notice its presence within your mind. Never sit down and cry, I have been a yogi for 5 years, and now look, I still have fear, I still have jealousy, I still have so many impurities in my mind. It will take too many years and births to attain perfection. One gets frustrated. But you must realize that because you are alive, you must feel emotions. Spiritual movement is not for the dead, it is for the living. If you do not feel jealousy at all in your heart, then there is no spiritual movement for you. If you do not feel fear at all, you are already dead. If you are not awakened to anger because of provocation, you are already too feeble to become or to even move a finger. If you tread the path and find that your mind is not as pure as you wish it to be, don't worry. You must realize that this movement is a progressive movement. You should move on in spite of the negativity in the mind. Learn to observe the mind and see what emotions are there. Feel you are an alert, objective witness watching the clouds as they form and dissolve. Your negative emotions are all awakening your inner aspiration. They have a role, they have their purpose. However, at the same time, be careful. You must move on without justifying those negative qualities within you. Although it is pointless to struggle viciously with mental impurities, meaningful self effort must be employed to control and gradually eliminate them. In this process, try to see that impure thoughts and feelings are not allowed to find expression in the realm of speech and action. When you observe the rising of anger, for example, in the plane of thought, try to contain it and nip it in the bud. Once you begin to express words out of anger, the situation gets out of hand. Words create their own problems. If you allow things to go further and by your action try to hurt others, you have really initiated a potentially devastating chain reaction. With this, we conclude our satsang for today. I will see you in tomorrow's satsang. Hari Om Tat Sat.